Just say when you're ready, we can go from here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We are working through our little technical issues here. There were some issues with the lobby, and we had to rehost, but we are getting back into the swing of things. Do ignore all of those war room choices while the teams get all set up in the lobby and we get our co-caster back in here. I do have the map bans for both teams. So Downfall was the ban on the Killettos side, and then Tanker was the ban on the Cold Steel side. So the shortest, darkest map and the biggest, lightest map are both out of the rotation. First map, as we were talking about before we had some stream issues, is going to be Snow Peak, but we're going to leave that as an undecided marker on my OBS, so don't worry about not seeing the map choice. It's not built into our deck yet, but we will get that resolved as soon as possible. So I am just going to let everybody know that we are good. I think there is a lobby rehost happening. Again, they're having some issues getting their 10th player into the lobby, so bear with us while we figure all that stuff out. We're going to be kicking this off very soon. I appreciate everybody's patience here so far. Well, you know, it's not the first cast of the day if you don't have some kind of little hiccup to deal with, so appreciate you guys hanging around for that.
Alright then, I have returned. The tech issues I believe are resolved on my end, and now I can actually hear Noman in his full, beautiful clarity.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Welcome back, Buxton. We are just waiting on that lobby to materialize and get 10 players in it. I'm not jumping in just yet so that make sure that all 10 of them are in before we jump in. But just let the good folks know what the bans are and letting them know that there's just a couple of minutes until the round starts. Take everybody on over to pre-round screen here, and we'll be with you folks in just a few short moments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Everybody's in the lobby. The map is loaded up. We are good to go. Teams have been given the green light, so we should be seeing them kick off very soon here. All right, Buxton, what are your thoughts on Snow Peak?
You know, I'm not actually sure about the map. I haven't really played it much. I, of course, played it during like times when it first came out. I still played a little bit then, but I haven't really played it too much since. So I'm not really sure the competitive side of it. It could be people mostly go through the center. People could sit around the pasture. So I'm not entirely sure. I believe you've been more experienced in this. Maybe we need to grab someone that's really a big problem map, like maybe Scorpio.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting... I mean, we just have to see the play. You know what I mean? Like, It's
Yeah.
hard to make an opinion on this map without seeing what competitive play looks like on it. Because even competitive lobbies, like, I've played a couple of scrims on it, and it just kind of feels... It still feels strange, but that's how every new map feels, I think. And a map of this scale with so many changes and differences is going to take a little while to vet it and figure it out. But I'm excited to see what these two teams do on it. They should be kicking off very soon here. They are all in and ready. Not too long of a delay. Yeah, so we are just waiting on them. The new hotfix was released yesterday that did fix some of the issues on Snow Peak, pertaining to some glitchy little spots. So that's all fixed up, and there should be a pretty even playing field for all players. And I do want to take this time to thank everybody for sticking with us and tuning in, hanging out. Hopefully I see a whole lot of the utilization of those sweet emotes that we recently released for all our subs. I want to be seeing those spammed all day throughout the chat. And you'll have plenty of opportunity. Oh, dude, we're so ready. I'm so ready for emotes, and I'm so ready for this game. Here we go. Round 1, map 1. There's the chant from the Killettos. Murder indeed.
Oh, the C4's been dropped in spawn though, but it's not looking too hot.
Yeah, that's not the best start, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't need the C4 to win this one. So we are seeing that southeast spawn from the offense. I'm curious to see which approach Cold Steel decides to take here. That's what's really interesting about this map, is it really does have a ton of different approaches. Yeah, and all of them have their sort of downsides and upsides. Like, the lake is tough, but if you can get out into the rocks, it's pretty easy to sort of hop between different spots and find your little picks and try to sneak by the defense. But we'll see who's out here. Ninx, the first one, lay down some suppressive fire onto one of the elevated positions, but none of the Killettos are going to be fooled by that.
I think he did actually manage to see Sky Delay shuttle way across the other side of the lake. I'm kind of surprised by that. You know, the Volk player models, they do blend in with the rock faces and the snow pretty well, so I'm amazed to manage to see that.
Yeah, there is some tension building up here as Izzy and Azaric both push up on Pink Stingray's position. Azaric with a very nice shot. The M39 is going to grab Pink off the top of that tower, and now it's a 5v4.
And that was an inside shot as well. He wasn't messing about with his accuracy there.
Indeed it is. That, now Cold Steel pushing up, making their smoked push on towards the objective, but the Killettos are pretty recessed. They shouldn't be bothered too much by these smokes. A nice little airburst there, a little too high to catch Ninx out.
That was a high-speed nade though, so we're going to be looking at some nades from fell around then. But this offense with Cold Steel definitely looking pretty coordinated. That kind of just collapsing on the Killetto positions there. So there is that kind of a rogue threat of Sky Delay Shield kind of with the upper hand way to the north of the objective with who's that? That Shrieking Geek trying to contest it, but it's going to be a hard choice to see who will come out on top there.
Indeed. The offense is a little bit stalled out, waiting for its push. I'll do a little bit of audio tuning. Now we are back into it. Ninx now pushing up on the side, but Finram's going to find Azaric as he pushes through the center. It's just a down. It's really laying down some fire on Sky's position, but she has rotated out. Shrieking Geek's going to be her first major problem, but if she stays tucked in there, too much of an issue.
I don't think either of them are aware of each other's locations right now. Shrieking Geek is looking towards kind of the eastern side. Sky's just looking out towards Nynx. But the second
Should
they
be
come
able
up
to
the hill, it's
spot
gonna be
her
the
here.
confrontation.
Yeah, there she is on his screen, and the down goes out along with the confirm. And now the Killettos are just down to 3. One resable on the offensive side. It's going to be a tough res, but Nynx has eyes on Phenaram here. Shots ring out, but Phenaram just luckily managing to backtrack there. And Izzy Bart's going to capitalize on all that confusion, grab Phenaram, and now it's a 4v2. The final remaining members of the defense all stacked up behind the objective here. Shrieking Geek it now approaching Aquafighter's position. She might have heard these footsteps.
I think so.
Oh, it's such a dangerous peek, and Shrieking Geek's not going to win that trade. Aquafighter going to grab herself a Cold Steel kill, and it's a 4v2.
Potential for them to be able to take this back, but it's going to be a hard one. Adriarch and Grim Reaper are in pretty exposed positions there. Almost a taken down there. The crossfire is pretty on point on the Killettos so far. They seem to hit the shots a little bit more.
I'm not sure they have very good little slots there for that offensive cover to shoot through. And Nynx Dragon and Aquafighter are going to trade, take each other out. It's a 3v1. And now it's all up to Ferris, and she gets picked up by Izzy Bart. And Cold Steel's going to take their first offensive round on this Snow Peak map.
Well, I think this may kind of show the difference between these two teams here. Cold Steel, I think, has had a couple more games of experience. I believe they are at 10 games total, while the Killettos are at 6, I think. So they've got a lot more coordination. They've definitely put a lot more time in, I think, to making sure all their kind of communications are on point, all of their kind of tactics, their strategies. You have a guy coming in from the south on the flank, someone backing him up with the LMG suppressor fire to give a little bit of noise cover, but not giving away his location. It seems pretty solid on the side of Cold Steel.
Yeah, that was a good coordinated push. I think what the Killettos could have benefited from there is a bit more of an aggressive defensive positioning. I mean, obviously it's a double-edged sword in that, you know, if you're too far out, hard to rotate back, grab the objective. But being recessed like that really gives the offense a little bit too much room to maneuver in. And I think that's kind of what did them in towards the end there. But a great set of plays there. They did pick up quite a few kills before the offense made that push. And as always, I should say in this particular case, there was no cap, which is an ideal defensive round, if not, you know, it's not the most ideal, but it's definitely ideal.
It's better than a cap, that's for sure. Caps are the worst case scenario in every scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. That is no joke, and we are going to be seeing what Cold Steel's able to do on defense here, as we are now ready to dive into this second round of map 1. I do apologize, I've seen it in the chat already. I think there is some frame lag coming out on this map. I hope it doesn't continue into other maps, but I know the stream might be a little bit choppy. I think that's why Buxton was having issues earlier in the cast, so my apologies on that. This is the first time we've actually ever had to cast this map, so figuring it out. Figuring it out as we go. I think this might just be a heavy resource utilization type of map, but we'll see how bad it is. Yeah, it's, you know, I think it's expensive for some people even when playing, so
yeah.
Let's see if we can pick that up, and Nynx is gonna pick up Sky on a very nice long pick here in the lake position. Man, biggest struggle here is gonna be for casters to figure out these call outs, because whoo,
Yeah.
that is going to be tricky.
I don't think anyone has codified a map yet for Snow Peak. Actually, I think I saw maybe, was it Traden? Post it in the Discord. Might have been someone else, actually. I'm not giving undue credit where credit is not due, so maybe it's not him, maybe it is, who knows. But yeah, at least the one thing we can agree on is the lane. We just have to work on that with cardinal directions.
Yeah, absolutely. Nynx and Phenaram here getting into quite a fight. Pink Stingray gonna find herself Azric in that upstairs position. It's actually a trade for trade. That's where Azric was able to grab Pink Stingray last round. Clearly he does not learn from the other team's mistakes, but Pink gonna be able to grab him there. Put down. She is, I think, looking for the confirm. Unfortunately, that's not gonna come through. So the callouts are gonna be ringing out for Cold Steel. There it is. Callouts no longer as Pink Stingray picks herself up a kill, and now it's 4v4.
Yeah, even up. So still go either way with 4 and it's remaining, though. I'm not really liking how there's one member of Cold Steel on the big flank here. If he just takes down that one member next to him, like he just did, then there is a big potential for him to go on a, or rather the other way around. So potentially now Phenaram is going to allow the Killettos to do their own flank, just as the Cold Steel was trying to do, but was denied by Phenaram.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's a little dangerous here is the positioning for grenades. I think control flirt delete there is too close to Pink Stingray for the frags. But fortunately for them, the defense is not looking for any sort of forward push here. Not any imminent danger just yet. Looks like they have
defense seems
practice
pretty
in play.
static so far. Little cheeky C4 there. Hoping
Not
to catch
gonna-
someone.
Not gonna find anybody that time as Pink and Flirt both decided to rotate out. I'll try to work as much as I can with static cameras so we don't have too much frame rate issue.
A little bit of a trail coming out from the Killettos here. So if we get a camera on that for you, just to make it a little bit easier on your sides.
No couch, should I go in?
There you go. They're snaking their way up there.
Izzy Bart now looking for Pink Stingray and Flirt. That smoke's gonna blind him. Their current positioning. Aqua Fighter moving up as well. Oh man, if he had a frag right now, this could be real dangerous for the Killettos. Approaching through the smoke, they're gonna need to be careful. This positioning is not ideal, but they are moving the smoke as they push up. They're just on the other side of the tree from each other, and Flirt's gonna grab Izzy there, and now Killettos have the man advantage, 4-3.
Definitely looking up for them so far. And I believe that control for Dell is Vivian, in fact.
Correct.
In case anyone was wondering.
That is Fairest, I believe was her name prior. Maybe I'll just call her by Fairest. Sometimes,
Yeah, there you go.
some
Merge them together.
sometimes you can't remember everybody's name all the time, and I'm just gonna call you what I call you. Don't at me.
It's the easiest way to do it.
Shots are gonna ring out from the Pink Stingray as she sees a cross, but they're not gonna land, and now Grim Reaper's gonna be aware of that position. Oh, that might actually be detrimental to him. If they rotate up behind him here, it's an easy kill.
Geez, that could be pretty damn dangerous. They've got to be very cautious of that. He could, those two could potentially just demolish the defense of Cold Steel if they just manage to slip past.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Grim Reaper has kind of divided his attention between that side where Pink Stingray is carrying through, and the other side where he may be able to catch her.
Does indeed, and now Ferris should be aware of his positioning here. She's got to be careful coming up over this hill, but she takes shots in the distance. And Grim Reaper's going to finish that kill off. Now it's a 3v2. Cold Steel able to grab the advantage back.
Oh, but they've run out of time.
Unfortunately, and that is the trouble with this map. Large, lots of areas to check, and time management is going to be more key than ever before.
You gotta be cautious. Even on like I think it's the difference between Downfall and Snow Peak is that Downfall doesn't have many areas you can really sit in for an extended period of time without realizing that you're wasting time. But with Snow Peak, you can move from cover to cover, from cover to cover. It feels like you're making progress, but in reality, you're still only halfway across the map, not even near the objective, and you've got 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tough call to make when you're making that approach. I do appreciate you guys letting me know about all the audio issues. I am still tuning them out. I have turned my co-caster up a little bit. Everybody wants to hear that sweet, sweet velvet voice.
All the way up to 11, I'm hoping.
Yeah, it's at least 11. It could be 12, but I don't even know if my knobs go to 12. I just have spinal. I just have spinal tap.
Really twist them.
I have spinal tap knobs, so they all go to at least 11.
At least a minimum of.
Yeah, bare minimum of 11. Do appreciate
no
you guys.
More 13. That's unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with us despite these little technical problems we're having on Snow Peak. But so far, it's been an interesting matchup. Killettos there had a very strong start on their first offensive push of that map. Just Grim Reaper was able to pick up 2 nice little clutch kills towards the end and shut down that offensive push, but otherwise looking very good. So I'm excited to see with the new defensive positioning what the Killettos can bring to the table here.
Yeah, it should be very interesting. It seems there may be some that kind of, the classical tech issues on the side of Killettos. One of their players has dropped out and is hopefully going to be coming in again soon. But so far, it's looking up for Cold Steel. Very much so. 2-0. 1 due to time, 1 due to kills. I think they can take this map, assuming that we don't see anything unexpected coming out from the Killettos, like a particular play that may have ready in the archives.
Yeah. I mean, they've been putting in a lot of time, a lot of hours. I'm expecting to see some great plays from them. I've already seen some great plays from them, so clearly it's paying off. But yeah, Cold Steel definitely, I mean, they've got the number of games under the belt. They've also clearly been doing some of their homework, so it's gonna be interesting. We're not quite out of the woodwork yet.
Indeed. Should hopefully be hopping in shortly. Let's try and take a look at the map here and just think about the callouts for a second, if you want to just hop into the gameplay. So
yeah,
we got the lake. I think we can all agree on that. Hangars. There's 3 hangars, and they're all on the opposite side. So, what do we call them? Got the north hangar. That's the classic.
Yeah. So North Hangar. Then we've got let's see, Helicopter Depot, I suppose.
So yeah.
Or just the depot. We could just call it the depot.
Yeah, the depot works.
Yeah, depot.
The depot, North Depot, South Depot, that works out. I'm liking it.
Yeah, yeah, we could do that. Obviously, Frozen Lake. We'll have to do the sniper towers individually. Figure those out.
We've got the other side of the map there. That's going to be a lot more involved callouts, I think. Snow Peak's a big map. It's very big.
It is very large. What are we going to call... I guess bunker will be the inside, and then what do we call the building that's on the outside?
Garage?
Warehouse or garage?
It's kind of both. It's got tanks, it's got boxes. But I think it's more of a garage first and foremost.
Is it? It doesn't have like a place for vehicles to drive into. It looks more like a warehouse to me.
Yeah, it does on the side where the tank's coming through.
Well, are
So
you
it
in the
does
same?
also, I think
I don't
it's a
think
little
you're in
bit
the
of
same
both.
building.
Maybe it's like
Oh,
a
you're in the different building.
commercial shipping. Oh,
Sorry.
you're in the different area.
Yeah, I'm in the.
That would
other
explain
building.
it.
Okay. So yours can be garage, mine can be warehouse. We're both right,
Yes.
and that's what's important is that neither of us were wrong.
Indeed, that's how you do things in
That's
the
right.
Onward casting.
That's our life. The murder callouts are out. We are already in gameplay, and now we're kicking off round 3 of this first map. as the Killettos look to hold their defense on a new objective.
Hey, can you help cover me for a moment while I hunt feedback?
C4 placements coming out. The offense going to be approaching from that North Depot.
Oh, the 2-3 split, or is that a... where's that final man? He's not showing up on the map. He's somewhere, though. Is he going east? No. Is he going west?
He's going east. He is definitely east. I see 3 members heading towards the
Yes.
eastern side. And now the
A
Killettos
3-2
are
split.
they're going to be surrounded here. So this is going to take quite a little bit of patience and teamwork from them to knock these guys out. They've actually got a member going all the way through that north warehouse, potentially wrapping all the way through garage and coming out on the close side, close east side of that objective. So definitely going to be an interesting play here, but the offense is gonna take a few minutes to set up, I'm sure.
Link's coming through the tunnel, though. Oh no, he's not on his lonesome. There is a Grim Reaper here to back him up. They are slowly coming through, but I think the Killettos do have one person watching that back end through the garage, just in case someone's going to be out. But they have a very tight defense, and with one guy sneaking up right next to them, this I think is going to get pretty dangerous pretty quickly for all parties involved.
Yeah, if Vivian does not manage to hold off Azric here, it could be real troublesome. But she's watching this little slot here, and he's going to walk right through it, but it's impenetrable, and now Azric is going to be aware of his position, but she's going to rush the corner, grab the headshot, and just like that, Cold Steel is down 1 man.
Or fight coming from Shrieking Geek. He's looking for the pink Stingray, but it's not going to work out. Another one coming around the corner gets taken down as well. I think just on a rampage on that, what is that, the southwest side?
Southwest side is all cleaned up as Pink Stingray grabs herself a double kill. And now it's just the offensive push coming from the east, excuse me, not the north. But 3 defenders here are already waiting, laying in wait for this final offensive push. Looks like the offense has used up all of their utilities, but are now stuck, unable to utilize them. They duke it out with Sky in the south. Oh, unfortunately, Pink Stingray gonna find a team member there on the backside. But that's gonna cause the offense to push through, and Fino is gonna grab the final 2 kills. Killettos grab themselves a defensive round, and we're in a 2-1.
Beating around is fearless here. I think she's gotten 3 kills so far. I think maybe
that
she
is
disconnected at some point as well.
That is a he, just to make sure. That's the one token male.
The one.
Yeah, of the almost all female team. That is the Killettos.
Almost. They had to tag that on with a sticker afterwards.
They did, but you know what? If you're gonna join an all-girls team, you take the risk associated with it, and sometimes people are gonna call you a girl. That's the way she goes, you know.
They have got their first round on the board now, so potentially luck will turn its favor here.
Yeah, I mean, they put together a solid offensive push last time, so I have a feeling that this could be the offensive round for them to try and take. I mean, with this sort of new map advantage where teams are on a more level playing field, it could work out swimmingly for them. Yes, I did say swimming.
Ooh.
Swimmingly.
Swimmingly in the frozen lake.
Indeed.
That's what the Volk did before they had to evacuate this facility. Smash some holes in the frozen lake. Have a little swim.
That's what, you know, the folk people love them some coal, and they love it. They gotta get it where they can, and especially when you're surrounded by mountains like this, it's not easy to get out of here. You know, your shower's on the other side of the mountain. You gotta take it where you can get it.
Just dive straight in. Don't worry about the frozen fish or the fact that they may actually be frozen solid, like the entire lake is just one big slab of ice. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Just get in there.
It's the ice traps the warmth. You know, that's how ice works.
It's actually a warm shower now.
All right, we are diving now into the defensive round for Cold Steel, the 4th round of this first map. We will see exactly what they're able to do here, and if the Killettos can find themselves an offensive win and tie this series up. They're going to be getting that quick west spawn. Geek and Azure are going to be pushing very aggressively
I'm gonna sit behind these sandbags.
onto this west side. We'll see if the Killettos are ready for this defensive position.
Oh, they're moving all as one big unit. This could be a disaster with Cold Steel's locations.
And Stingray gonna find herself one, and now it's just Shrieking Geek here looking to hold off the entirety of the offensive approach of the Killettos. He's gonna find himself one. Pink Stingray's gonna go down. Some nice machine gun fire there, and he is not sparing any rounds, sending a full clip down towards the offense. Actually, 2 members of the Killettos have gone down now. I didn't catch that first member. That was Sky. So 2 members of the Killettos now out. Cold Steel in a 4v3. The defense surprisingly not backing up Geek here. If Geek goes down for some reason, they could be in a little bit of trouble.
Right. I think AZ's dead. I have at least 1 kill.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. Normally you'd have someone rotate over. Like, they should have the Killettos trapped in the spawn here. So if they send someone around, someone from the objective coming around from the frozen lake, come through the depot, they could get a full flank in here. It could be very strong, which I think Nynx is doing right now as he goes through with his PKM.
Indeed he is. They try and push through on this other side, and he might catch the offense unawares if they try to cross over towards the lake. That is exactly what Nynx is doing. He's watching the flank out of their position, and now the Killettos are going to have some work to do to get themselves out of this pickle. Fortunately, it's not a delicious pickle.
I think that could be unfortunate, actually. Could be quite delicious. That's what you want. You don't want undelicious things.
Well, we'll see what they can turn it into. I think they are expecting somebody to be watching this pathway, which you definitely should if you've been laying down, or laying down because of suppressing fire, not laying down the suppressing fire. The defense has been laying down rounds for the better part of the game. You should be aware that most likely the defense is going to be rotating to cover your positioning here.
Nynx is still taking a look over towards that frozen lake, but he hasn't spotted anyone yet. But I think Aqua's going to walk straight into the line of fire here if she's not careful.
Yeah,
Or
Nynx's
maybe
position
the
is
dip
watching. I mean, if they crossed short enough, they won't even register for him. I mean, he might spot them as they come around the mountain, but Aqua Fighter unfortunately gonna team kill Vivian there, and now information is enough for Nynx to try to lay down some suppressing fire in their position, but luckily they are covered by this building, but not quite enough.
Apparently it's penetrable. Apparently it's penetrable.
And indeed it is. Aqua Fighter is down. Revive.
And finished off.
Yeah, that is devastating for their push, and now it's all up to Phenaram here. 1v4, looking to find some sort of ingress through this defense. Got 2 minutes left. The clock is against him. The enemy count is against him. What will he be able to do? Offensive round. The rotation from the defense comes out. Nynx with a nice little snapshot going to grab himself the final member of the Killettos, and the Cold Steel's going to grab a point. Get a 3-1 on this first map.
Nynx just cleared house. I can't believe that metal is actually penetrable. It definitely doesn't look like it, but it is. He sprayed through and took both of them down, finishing them off at the same time. I don't think he even knew that was penetrable. I think that was just luck.
I think there was some information coming out about what is penetrable. Like, I think some of these teams have done their homework for what is penetrable, because I do remember seeing that, like, boxes that are on shelves are penetrable, whereas ones that are sitting on the ground are not. So there's things like that players are starting to figure out. But yeah, that's we'll see. For that, I had to realize that audio was still rolling, but there we go. Fix that. But yeah, so I mean, the teams have definitely done their homework, and it looks like he was aware. I don't think he put that many rounds into a building without knowing that it's penetrable, you know?
Yeah, he must have known that. He must have done the teamwork. The teamwork?
He definitely did the teamwork. But the homework.
Yeah, he definitely did the teamwork. I don't think he did any teamwork there. He just cleaned up on him by himself. There was no teamwork going on there, just pure devastation.
Yeah, he at least he rotated to help his teammate. I'll count that as teamwork.
That's 5 points of teamwork.
Yeah,
but
now
no more.
We're gonna be seeing this warehouse objective this time. So this one, when I play on this particular objective, I find it to be the most challenging because it's not really the path to get to the objective that's challenging. It's the breaching the room that becomes very difficult.
That's only got one entrance going to the outside, and two entrances. Two entrances from the outside and one from the kind of the tunnel labyrinth, which is big straight corridor.
Yeah. See how the defense is able to hold this. And I'm interested if they're going to push out or try to go for a more long range, long distance away from the objective sort of defense. But the offense is going to be pretty much here. I'm going to fly my camera through all these tunnels. I start getting used to this. Get ready for that, Twitch chat.
Oh, they got a shield. Grim Reaper with the shield going through the tunnel. I think this could work out big time.
And Shrieking Geek's got a shield as well. We're seeing 2 shields pushing through.
They blaze?
Cold Steel Blaze confirmed.
They're quite different things, but it works out anyway. Cold Steel, Blaze, not quite the same, but they're the same in our hearts.
They've got the Blaze idea. You know, they've got the right Blaze idea. That's for sure. So we're gonna be seeing
going up against Grim and Izzy with a Spaz 12 though.
Ooh, that's actually not a bad choice for shield because I find when I want to try to laser, the feet of a defender an offender that has a shield, I tend to miss a lot, and shotguns give you that bullet spread, by default, so you don't really have to worry too much about it. So a little bit of buckshot might work out for her here, but we are now seeing the push coming in from both sides. Flash out now.
Shield on me.
All out has come out. She rotates out, but the offense is inside the room already. Azriak has made his way. Actually, never mind. He's still on the outside. My apologies.
Ooh, that's so flash. I was blind. But I still don't know where she is.
Yeah, they're throwing out lots of flashes trying to blind all of these players. And the push is coming through. Grim Reaper's going to find Sky de Lucille as he pushes through. And lots of trades coming out here. Pink's going to find herself one. Azriak accidentally team kills. Shrieking Geek picks up Aqua Fighter on the inside. Now it's a 3v3. Veteram's going to find Nynx there on that rotation. Pink's going to find Shrieking Geek, and Vivian's going to find Pink Stingray. Unfortunately, Azriak finds Vivian on the backside with a nice headshot there, and Veteram and Azriak, the only 2 left. The tablet is out. Veteram does spot the offense, picks up that kill, and there is the defensive victory for the Killettos as they put up their 2nd point.
That looked like a textbook attack on the objective, but it really just fell apart. Those 2 members managed to pick off both people coming through the doors. They didn't really check their corners.
That is the toughest part of that objective, I think, is figuring out how to cover every different corner and every different angle and every possible defensive position. It's very tricky. There's no perfect path through each and every one of those. So it's really just throw a flash, throw smoke, cause some confusion, and, cross your fingers. Try to get in there and do some damage. But they played it very well there. I'm impressed by that offensive push. The shields weren't, utilized as well as I think they could have been. But nonetheless, a pretty decent setup.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. With the double shields coming in, with the, I think, excellent uses of the flashes. I think they jumped and flashed up as they went in, which really helped out, though. The spray through the wood just wasn't quite there. I think that maybe they traced an outline through the wood. It was unbelievable. It was very close. Just centimeter, they would have got it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great set of plays on both sides, but Killettos able to hold that defense and put up another point in this matchup, and Cold Steel's gonna look to try to take this map away from them as we dive now. Good. Square up on the offense here. As we dive into this 6th round of the final map, Jesus. The first map. They're both F words. It all sounds the same. Yeah.
It's close enough.
And we are going to
we're
be
seeing a much more aggressive defense from Cold Steel this time round.
seeing Pink Stingray with that shield as well. See what this utilization looks like as the Killettos push through 2 different avenues here.
They're being cautious, they're checking their corners. Maybe when they go in for the final attack, they won't make the same mistake as Cold Steel did during their push. They're definitely seeing a lot more, seeming a lot more cautious. Loader going through, checking every corner. Shield going first. They're ready.
Asrick's gonna find a teammate very quickly and give Killettos a very nice little advantage here as he picks up a team kill, unfortunately for him.
I just killed Nix.
Yeah, he just checked his tablet. He only just realized. He walked up to the body, kind of took out his tablet, went, yeah, I just team killed Nix. How poor. How poor? How unfortunate for Nix.
Not the greatest start for them, but we are going to be how the Killettos can capitalize on this advantage. I am now, as a cameraman, lost inside of the tunnels.
Might be another team kill about to happen.
Oh.
Maybe not. That was almost a team kill. I think that's the issue with Snow Peak, is that the uniforms are very similar.
Yeah.
The helmets are different, but that's pretty much it.
Discuss that at the top of the cast, that it is pretty tricky to recognize different uniforms here. Luckily, I am seeing better performance inside of the tunnels, so if we could just tell the teams to fight only inside of the tunnels of Snow Peak, we could have...
Outside banned, minus 25 MMR.
Exactly. Zero rounds count when you're outside if you're being casted. You heard it here first.
So it's technically 1 point to Killettos.
Yes, correct.
Interesting. Oh. Grim Reaper has repaid the favor for Nix by taking down Azriarch.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. And just like that, the Killettos have taken down 2 members by sheer force of willpower. No bullets required.
Yes.
They just force the team kills on the Cold Steel
just the
side.
fear. They're so spooked.
That's what it is. The call out for shields have come out. Now the defense are aware of the positioning. Grenade coming out.
Reaper is playing with fire there.
Setup is nice, and unfortunately watching the back a little too brashly, and a team kill is going to come out. And so far, the only kills have been team kills on this map. Shrieking Geek finding the first normal kill. Picks up Beanaram there with the headshot, and Sky's going to grab Shrieking Geek with a nice little MP5 headshot behind the cover of the shield. I think Stingray fixes trouble, but somehow manages to duck that frag. I'm not sure how that happened.
The pipe just blocked it by the skin of her teeth.
Wow, that is impressive. And
The smoke is thick now. It doesn't stop Grim Reaper from picking up pig.
oh boy, rip frame rate in that smoke. Unfortunately, gonna try to get out of that. The offense tries to push through. It's a 2v2. The 2 remaining members of the offense pushing through. Grim Reaper's gonna find Sky there, and a trade's gonna come out between Vivian and Izzy. And that's going to end the map for Cold Steel. They're going to grab that first map.
That's as expected. They started 2-0, nice and strong. Killettos did kind of make it a little bit scary for Cold Steel, but it still went their way.
Yeah, and I think part of it may have been is that when you push an offense entirely through one doorway, it's a pretty simple defense to be able to hold. So I think that was working against them there. If they'd have sort of split up their force, push through 2 different doors, it could have worked out differently, but Cold Steel able to hold that defense, and now we're going to be diving into our second map. And that map is going to be, yeah, we're going to be seeing a pick of Suburbia, but not just any Suburbia, Suburbia 2, the night variant.
I feel like Boss Fight has infected everyone with the strange night map choices. Maybe that's just a result of the new night vision that is much more pleasant to use.
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, it's actually, I think for me, it's worse. The graininess of the night vision tends to make it more difficult to spot, like, long distance, you know, moving pixels, as it were.
I think it was grainy previously as well. Now
it was
consistently grainy.
it was pretty much a green, like it was just a green tint to the game, and then they added the sort of depth of lighting and depth of shadow to it, and it improved a little bit, but I don't remember there being any fuzziness to it really. And in this one, they really made it as realistic as possible, so it actually does look like you're looking through the filter of a screen.
At least stuff doesn't flicker anymore. That was the worst part of the old night vision.
Yeah, that is true.
Stuff would flicker, and it was sad times.
I do agree with that. It is nice to not have to deal with that anymore. But the teams are getting readied up here, writing up their strats. I want to take this moment to thank everybody in the chat. You guys have been dropping biddies. I've definitely been noticing that.
Well.
Yeah, there's been a couple of subs while we've been casting, so we do appreciate all of that. The support from you guys is why we keep doing this. We love bringing all this action to you, and we're happy that we can be action you want to come back to. So thank you for all of that, all of your support. You know, share us with your friends and family. It's a fun watch. Get them in the chat, hang out with us all day, all night. Get them in the Discord. Get them in the game. You know, just slap a headset on them and
slap a headset on every single member of your family. Put in the Discord.
Get grandma in it. Get grandpa in it. It's fine.
Numbers shall grow no matter the cost, Noman.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be
7,000 Discord members by tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's obviously not expensive to run a VR setup. So, you know, what's the barrier to entry? A couple $1,000. Don't worry about it. Just Christmas gifts for everybody.
Believe.
Yeah, just believe in it. All right. We don't have to just believe anymore. We can now watch because we're diving into this first round of the map 2. Cold Steel able to squeak on by with a nice 4-2 victory
Let's do it.
on Snow Peak, which was our first map, and now we're back into Suburbia where my frame rate and graphics card both are feeling very good. Early shots coming out from Nynx here to find anybody on that pre-fire.
This feels like a bit of a textbook defense. I think it's going to end well for the Killettos. They've already got their first pick on that lane 1, and potentially another one with Grim Reaper pushing up.
Yeah, he's got that shield. Fino's going to have to find a way around this shield. I'm not sure if Dream spotted him just yet. Fino's cooking up a little nade. Hot nade action's going to catch Grim Reaper out. And now if Izzy goes for this... Oh, if he would have just stayed tucked until he went for the res, Fino could have picked up a third. But a nice pickup there by Izzy is going to give Cold Steel a nice even playing field as we are in a 4v4. Vivian's going to find Shrieking Geek on his long rotation here through the carport. Now it's a 4v3. Killettos have the man advantage as they push up on the back side of center house.
Interestingly, as we are going again with the what is the Marslock version of the SKS? What's that called? I can't remember.
The
MK14, that's it.
yeah, that's correct.
Iron sights on the MK14 on Suburbia 2. It's an interesting choice. And he's going to be going CQC with Sky DeLacy.
Yeah, right around the corner from each other. Guy's got that
He's
shotgun.
backing out. He wants no part. He was already team killed one person. He doesn't want to go in.
Oh, and the frag comes out, but it's not very good. And he rotates just outside of the range of his own frag. And now he's looking around the corner. Izzy's going to find Vivian on that front side. And a trade comes out between Sky and Azreer. They're going to be out. The 2v2 now just up to Izzy and Grim here on the outside. Gonna make their push. That flashlight, definitely.
They're doing shadow puppets to try and distract them. This is an interesting tactic.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious as to what that flashlight tactically is going to bring them in this approach. Now it's pretty apparent which direction the offense is going to be coming from unless they rotate out.
Yeah, certainly taking their time. They do have 3 minutes though. There's no particular worry about running out here. They've got their time. They can do whatever. I think they're going to go looting off their friends for grenades and smokes and the like. They do have the LMG shield combo, so that's going to be pretty scary for the Killettos.
Get ready to clear that fucking house. Right at the corners. They're all up in there.
Now we'll see how Grim Reaper's approach is going to work out as we jump into his first person view.
Taking his relaxing stroll through the gardens of West Virginia.
There's no rush, you know. Got 2.5 minutes. Got the time
It's
to really
active siege.
smell the single rose that is out in front of the center house.
There are rose?
I think there's just one rose in that front of the house. Pretty sure.
I'm not seeing a rose here. I'm disappointed, Norman.
I'll find it.
Double tap.
I'm gonna stop watching the action and I'm gonna jump over to the single rose. Oh, actually, no. I guess there's a few roses. There's a few. Or what are these, carnations? I think they're carnations. Anyway, we're
I
an
definitely don't think
onward.
they're roses.
We're an onward casting organization, so let's focus on the onward, not the flowers.
I'm into botany now.
Aqua Fighter's gonna be trading rounds there with Grim. Izzy's gonna find Pink in that corner, and the spray comes through. Gonna find Grim Reaper. Now it's just Izzy versus Aqua Fighter. The shield is gonna protect him, and as he pushes up, who's gonna win this? This is so tense. The tension is huge. He drops his shield, takes some shots, he misses. He's backed her into a corner here.
Oh,
What's he gonna do? A minute and a half left. She rushes on top of him and grabs the kill. And she's gonna do a little dance there as she finishes
slaps
up
his
that
corpse,
round.
I think. That was brutal.
A little bit of abuse after the fact. Killettos gonna grab themselves the first defensive round here on Suburbia 2.
Well,
Yeah.
this is certainly a different kind of pace from that first map.
Yeah, that was an interesting little standoff there towards the end. There was a nice little trade for trade, Pink and Izzy going down for each other. Coming down to the wire there with the last member of each team duking it out. Yeah, I mean, this is what you love about Suburbia. Is you got the long range stuff right in the beginning, and then it gets closer and closer as you get to the objective. Your strategies have to change.
Nice and fast. Nice and blaze-like.
Yeah, it's just beautiful how that can work out for different teams. And now we're going to be seeing Cold Steel trying to hold their defense against this, I will say, firing on all cylinders Killettos offense.
I would agree with you there. They're certainly, I think they're warmed up. Maybe they didn't do a scrim behind before this match. And Cold Steel was, of course, very warmed up from their match earlier today. I think they just need that first map to get the cylinders nice and ready to go, nice and hot.
Yeah, I hope we see a nice offensive victory from them here. I think that's going to be the push they need. Try to take a map away here from Cold Steel and maybe take us into a tied series. That would be fantastic.
515
Very good going to the decisive third one.
The ladies and gentlemen are ready to go, and so are we as we dive into this second round. Now the Killettos on offense. 2 shields coming out, Sky and Pink, both utilizing that equipment loadout. And we'll see what kind of damage they're able to do as they assault this center house.
Oh wow, they're going in quick.
VRML grabs one right off the bat. Aggressive shots coming out through the window there. Nynx looking to grab a kill, but... And the suppressive fire is coming out. VRML's gonna find himself another one, but now he's gonna be refragged, and a quick pickup by Shrieking, and Izzy on the backside is gonna grab that offensive push. And now it's just up to Sky and Aqua, both in the smoke on the backside of the house as they push in. Nynx is gonna find both, however, very quickly, and Cold Steel's gonna shut that offensive push down in less than 45 seconds.
Nynx is absolutely fearless with that kind of pseudo flank there. He went straight behind, no fear at all.
That was a great push by him, and a great defense in that center house. A couple of guys on the outside window there were exactly what they needed for that offensive push.
I think we have a bit of insight into what the Killettos was thinking there as well. Trip is in the living room of Vivian for reasons unknown, and apparently he was hearing loud noises. So I think we know what the Killettos were thinking that round.
One can only assume what they were thinking. One can only assume.
No strong assumptions allowed. You never know. Unpredictable. They switch from fast to slow at a moment's notice. Drop of a hat.
Yeah, that is what I've come to expect at this point. But so far, a pretty solid series. We've seen a lot of good back and forth from both teams. The defensive rounds, largely what we're seeing in terms of victory here. But I don't know. I think this could be the map that Killettos take away from Cold Steel. I know they do love them some Suburbia, so that is what...
Who doesn't love Suburbia? That's the real question, Devin.
Exactly.
Who doesn't love Suburbia?
I don't know. People who have been in the league for as long as Suburbia's been around? I think that's the answer to that question.
Glovercam loves Suburbia. Sinister Pride, I think, also likes Suburbia. Phoenix, I'm not actually sure.
Yeah. There's quite a
Maybe
few.
they do.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
Everyone
quite a few
loves it.
teams that...
Anyone
I think
that
it's...
says otherwise, fists up. Let's go.
It's specific to certain players on the teams. Like, I don't think there's a whole team that hates Suburbia, but certain players tend to not prefer it.
Yeah.
But preferences aside, we are diving into the third round of Suburbia. Now the defense is on this white car objective.
I'm thinking we may see some more aggression coming out from the Killettos, even on bulk. That's what I'm sensing here. And we're certainly seeing it with Phenaram at least. Rather slightly, I'd call it ever so slightly uncommon truck position. People kind of abandoned it after a while.
Yeah, it is rather dangerous. It seems like it's advantageous, but there's really a lot of different angles you have to watch from that little spot. It can be very tricky if you don't have anybody watching your back. A nice little frag coming out. There's going to land dead on to Nynx's face and take him out of the equation permanently. VRML's going to find Shrieking Geek on the backside as well. That spot is paying off in spades.
Absolutely big time. Another nade, or actually just a smoke on the Pink. He's going to blind her a little bit, and I think Izzy is going to be the one to kind of throw some solid nades from this position.
Oh, that directional smoke, though. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to blind the offense as they try to come out of this corridor, and Now Pink really has the advantage. Grim Reaper's gonna find Sky on the backside, and Pink Stingray's got her back to Izzy. Izzy hasn't checked this corner.
Oh.
And there's the kill. Izzy goes down. As she checks the corner, Grim Reaper gonna find himself a nice kill on the defense there. A frag's gonna come out, just barely missing the Pink Stingray as it goes just
Grim's
behind
just
the
out in
flag.
the open. He's fearless.
Yeah, and there's
He's on the objective.
There's
He's
three.
next to Aqua Fighter.
He's camping. They don't
No.
see it.
I
They
can't
don't
let
see
this
it.
happen.
Oh, this is devastating. They've got to check it. Check the
Oh.
objective.
It's utterly
Oh,
devastating, Noman. It's utterly devastating.
utterly devastating indeed.
Aqua Fighter just in shame there puts her hand over her eyes.
Oh no, that is devastating. Devastating for the Killettos. I mean, it was
Devastating.
such a good start. And
I can't
Coldfield.
believe he just walked out into the open like that. That is utterly fearless. A completely fearless move. I think he just did that out of reflex. He wasn't even thinking during that, because I would have thought that's insane, but it worked out.
I mean, it was insane.
But it did work out.
Yeah,
at the
I
same
mean,
time.
working out it's separate. They're not mutually exclusive. It was still insane. But yeah, that
in many ways.
I mean,
Both
sometimes
definitions.
you have to go for it, you know? I mean, that's one of the
Yeah.
things that a lot of newer teams struggle with is at some point you can't check
gotta
every
go.
corner. You just got to run for it. You got to try and take, you know, what's rightfully yours, so to speak, by being that aggressive. And right there, it pays off. The defense was expecting, you know, longer rotations and a more indirect approach, and the direct approach there is what got them the victory. So yeah, I mean,
Cap, not just the victory.
yeah, that the best kind of victory.
Sweetest victory.
It is so sweet.
Oh yeah, so there's nothing there. Nothing beats a solid cap in the morning.
I love the smell of capping.
What would that smell like? Just oil and lubricant from the inner workings of the rotating disc. Or would it be the tablet, just silicon?
Yeah, I think silicone would be the smell of a cap, you know, or like a freshly opened
that's an interesting
iPad or something. I don't know what that smell is.
Something, that's for sure. Now it's the Killettos' chance to attack this objective. Maybe they'll repay the favor with another cap to bring to 3-3. Maybe. They've got the shield at least.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough to come back from a cap, especially when you're a newer team and you've had, you know, pretty successful set of rounds up until this point. So they got a lot of, they have to not let it affect them mentally. Wow, that should be as hard to say as it was, but if they can push through that sort of mental barrier and grab themselves at least a kill win here, they'll stay in this series.
I think that's one thing that the Killettos doesn't have trouble with, just keeping the mental game going. The murder chance, I think, help out with that quite dramatically.
Yeah, I think that is the key to their power.
Like having a movement in your team that kind of channels some caltrop, keeps things going.
I don't
never
know.
gets down.
Channeling Caltrop is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
It's like, you know, he's like a pocket demon. Not sure it's exactly what you want to channel in this particular scenario, but they need to channel something as they make this push onto the white car objective. The smoke's coming out now from the Pink Stingray are pretty decent here. They're going to block Izzy's view of that approach. Is going to cause him to push out of position here. Very dangerous push by the defense here. As they're going to ring out. That fence is penetrable, but Vivian's going to find one, but a frag's going to find 3 members of the offense. Pink Stingray's got to grab this res. She's got to grab this res.
But Niggs has to go for it. He has to finish off those kills. He can't allow Pink to get these revives.
Call-outs
But
are
he's going to
real.
have to allow it.
He has to make sure that the cap doesn't come out. And now Grim Reaper's gonna find his way into lane 3 and grab the pink Stingray. As she came through, the res is now gonna be coming out in full force. And once those smokes diminish, Sky's position is no longer easily resable, as Dinks does have Overwatch onto that spot. And it's a 4v3 with one res available for the Killettos.
I don't think they're going to be able to get Scott. Well, they definitely aren't. That's for sure now.
Yeah, that is confirmed. Nynx is going to find Sky, but Fino on the backside here in lane 2 is going to find himself 1 kill and even it up again, 3-3. Killettos keeping it even for most of these rounds, really. And even, I mean, they had the advantage last round, but obviously a bit of a slip up there in communication, not able to stop the cap, but they have been holding their own in each of these rounds, which has been very nice to watch.
Indeed. There is still 3 Killettos left standing. It's evened up, actually. Surprisingly, I didn't even notice, but it has been evened up 3-3, though.
Yeah.
Fina Ram, I think, is going to go down.
I don't think you're listening to your main caster, Buxton. I definitely just said it was an even 3-3, but...
It's just, you tune out occasionally.
Yeah, I know the struggle. Shrieking Geek's going to find Phenaram in that lane, too, and now it's a 3v2. Vivian needs to find Nynx here, but he is just suppressing the absolute pants off of this offense on this side. I mean, that nice frag, able to really discombobulate the Killettos early on. And now that offensive push is definitely struggling to revive itself.
Yeah, there is definitely some issues there. But I'm really surprised Nynx hasn't pushed up from his spot to just go straight in, fearless as he has before. He's been rather conservative since he got that nade out.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario. I mean, you would think the defense would capitalize on this information and run a bit of a flank. I think Grim was already sort of in a flanking type position there. But now they've backed off and sort of decided to watch the objective. But now the Killettos' main enemy is not the defense, it's time. They've only got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Try to make this final push to the objective, and now Nynx is likely going to have the drop on Vivian, but she did spot him as he rotated out, and he gives up that position on the objective.
Oh, but Nynx, I think, is going to rush Vivian now. He heard that call out. He's going to go for free fire at least.
This is quite a tense fight here between these two members of the offense and defense. She's going to grab that shield as she pushes up through, and now 2 members of the defense have eyes on her.
42 seconds.
Trade's going to come out. Now it's just a 1v2, 30 seconds left. Can she find kills she needs?
Fumbling with that shield. She can abandon the shield, actually.
20 seconds left. And now shots ringing out on her position do find her. Shrieking Geek is able to finish off Vivian there. And Cold Steel is going to take that second map and the series.
Indeed. There is the final map, though, the third one, just for fun, just for MMR.
But
I'm going
that's
to take this.
MMR juice. I don't know.
Delicious.
I think it very much depends on what map we're gonna be diving into, because I think Killettos need a small map. Ooh, and then the lobby is already good to go, and the pick for the final map is going to be Argo.
Well, there was certainly a smaller map here. Maybe this is their time to shine. No, man, this is their time to shine. Take it. Maybe a 4-0. Can we think about that, maybe?
I think we want to hope for it, you know? think we want to believe in the 4-0 from the Killettos side. But
That's the dream.
they've been putting up a great series so far, though. I don't know. I think it can go either way. We'll see what their strats bring up here.
The north objective starting off at least, though. Ooh. I've gone into the map and I feel like something's changed. 'Cause the floor looks different to me.
Yes, it has. In fact, the floor textures were changed.
When?
In cargo, I believe it was not this hotfix, but the update before. It changed.
It's so strange.
Yeah, the texture is a little odd. It's basically a copy and pasted tile. We've also found that the floor in Kayat now on Bazaar is shiny. Like it's got a sheen. It's got like a sheen to it. So somebody at Downpour has been polishing the floors of these maps quite literally. You know, it's
literally and figuratively.
It's a thankless job, but someone's got to do it. And we are now diving into this first round of map 3. Killettos on defense.
We really lost our cheer, guys.
Yeah,
Three,
it did.
A very out of timed murder
Yeah.
shout there.
I think the cap there has disrupted their chanting ability. You don't want to see them losing faith, though. The defense now setting up very tight on the objective. Shots ringing out towards the defense. C4 is not going to find anybody, but Shrieking Geek's going to find Pink Stingray on the objective. Just like that, we're in a 5v4.
Oh no. Oh, there was almost a nade from Sky Galaxy on the feed around there.
That would be not very good for the defense right now, because Phenaram's going to find himself a kill on this west side.
But Nyx is near the objective.
As well as Izzy. He's going to find that kill. Phenaram now out of the equation, and 3 members of the offense find themselves on the backside. A team kill is going to come out as a result of it. Vivian finds herself 1 kill on the backside, and she's the only one remaining on the objective. And the cap does not come out. She does manage to rotate back just in time and stop the attempted cap, but Cold Steel is going to take that first round of map 3.
That was certainly an interesting one. I'm surprised they didn't get the cap out there. They really took their time with that one.
He took a little long to grab the tablet out, and especially grabbing that team kill there. I don't think they expected to get that far.
Yeah, I think the idea was there, but the actual practice was spooked. They got all the way in and they didn't know what to do. I think that happens to all of us at some point. You go in for the cap, you actually get there, you don't know why, or you don't know how you got there, but you're there, and you just kind of have to work off there somehow. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been surprised by our own strategies working sometimes. You know, I think like you draw it up and then you run it and then you realize that it worked and you get to wherever you were supposed to go, and then like that team kill, I totally understand. It's like I didn't even expect you to make it all the way up the map to that position, and yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, and that really comes down to communication in the end, is how much you're willing to communicate versus staying quiet. So something they'll definitely figure out as we go on in this series.
Certainly taking their time with this round, that's for sure. Maybe they drawing up some kind of special plan on the side of the Killettos here.
Well, we're going to see exactly what that special plan is. Teams are ready and raring to go as we fire up this second round of map 3. Cold Steel able to grab themselves a nice little offensive victory. Killettos narrowly escaping a cap attempt there.
I can't get over this floor, Noman.
You think it's bad here, you just wait until you play. It's all kinds of disorienting for your face. Grim Reaper a little bit too forward in this position. And Ezreal looking to catch some bullets himself as well, and he is going to catch them from Phenaram as Pink Stingray finds Nynx on the other side with a nice little trade. And just like that, only 2 members of the defense remaining. The Killettos have almost all members up. One just looking to be revived, and we'll see if they're able to capitalize on this huge man advantage as they push through.
Cold Steel. They're getting aggressive here with Shriek and Geek.
I mean, the objective is just, it's ripe.
Wide open. It's gaping.
It's ripe for the cappening.
They can actually just walk straight in right now. There's no one to stop them.
No, not a single person. Izzy is not going to spot any member of the offense pushing out of this west side. They can just waltz into this objective. Literally waltz.
Who's going to realize first? Is Volt going to realize the objective's open, or is Marstok going to realize the objective's open first?
Well, I think
Place your
Marsoc
bets now in chat, everyone.
Marsoc doesn't really have that luxury, right? Like, they don't, unless they have a count from all of their members, they're not going to spot it. Izzy here is absolutely blinded to this cross. And now rotating out even further, he's going to walk right behind Vivian, not checking that corridor. But Izzy is going to find Aqua on the backside, now looking for Sky. And the shots ring out, but Izzy's going to win that trade as well, and he's evened up into a 1v2. This offense needs to move. The objective is absolutely, totally wide open.
It's falling off of the tree right now. It's so ripe.
Oh, and the window is closing. Izzy rotating back, now realizing his teammates are all gone. The offense missing that opportunity to push. And see, this is one of those things that, as a newer team, you definitely struggle with. When do you make that push? When is it time to throw caution to the wind and try to grab yourself cap on the objective? But
I like to call that the Strajac process.
Izzy's going to find Vivian on the backside, and now Fino's in the tunnel, and Izzy grabs himself 4 kills that round and shuts down the Killettos offense.
Clean them up.
Basically untouched.
Yeah, so I like to call that the Strajac process, thinking about when you want to just throw caution to the wind and get the cap. It's a hard one. It comes with practice, a lot of practice, several hundred hours.
I mean, definitely, I agree when there's a lack of information, it can be tough to coordinate a cap. But in that case, they had 2 members of the defense definitely down. They killed 2 in that tunnel entrance. They knew they had at least 1 down, potentially down on the east side because Pink Stingray traded, and I'm sure she called it in. So that's 3 members gone. You have 4 members up. That's the time to push. Like that right there. That's once you know you have 2 people definitely down. You've basically taken out an entire side of the map, and 1 member, maybe unconfirmed but down. That would be the time to make the push. But yeah, that offense stalled out there, and Izzy was able to just stroll on through and punish each and every member there and grab Cold Steel, their 2nd round of this map as they look to close out the series. Was a 3-0, but Killettos have themselves a defensive round here to try to get back on the board.
They may be able to get themselves on the board like they did during Snow Peak at least. They could do it. I believe. I believe, Noman. They can do it.
I know you believe.
How to not have a repeat of my...
What are we doing?
Here we go.
Phenaram, the only member on Killettos that was out of count with the murder chant.
Chalk it up to network delay. Early pre-fire shots coming out from Pink Stingray, and the offense is laying down smokes and fire. Pink's Dragon gonna find Vivian on the right side. Phenaram's gonna be down by Izzy. Still revivable. Offensive push is there. Shrieking Geek comes around the corner. Sky not able to find him and gets picked up there. Tablet is out. And Cold Steel is going to pick up all the kills and grab themselves that 3rd round.
Not quite able to get the cap up. Still a clean round for them. I think Cold Steel's main They're the mini blaze. That's what they are, Nyman. They're the mini
25 seconds was that offensive push. 25 seconds.
Not quite Ember, not quite Blaze.
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, definitely one of the
Spark.
faster plays I've seen so far.
Spark.
Spark. Don't remind
Spark
me.
to
We
Ember to
we don't
Blaze.
we don't talk about Spark anymore. That is off limits for discussion, Buxton. Okay.
Right, fire drill then.
You need
There
to
we go,
check.
Fire drill.
Yeah,
Matchbox.
you need to check the approved list of things we could talk about on Cast. We never mentioned. No, that was a great push by them, and the more aggressive of the pushes we've seen so far from either team, really. There's been a couple of Killettos defensive rounds, and I think one or two offensive that were very aggressive, but yeah, this is an interesting one, that's for sure. I mean, it's the makings of a good team, you know? I mean, they just have to keep putting that time in, keep playing together as a team, and as you refine those kinds of pushes, you know, your team benefits as a result. So we'll see. I think Killettos can still break this little streak here, get themselves on the board before this map is over.
Indeed. Ah, that's the one thing missing from, Trading just mentioned it, one thing missing from the floor of Cargo is there's no oil spills anymore. It's just a perfectly clean warehouse floor.
Oh, interesting. Did not notice
That's
that.
why it looks so strange.
Huh. Well,
Blame James.
yeah, definitely at James. But, smoke coming out there from the defense. Not gonna go where they want it to go. They're gonna have to
Second
reposition
one's
it.
long though.
Quite the distance on that one. And now the offense is looking to make their push on this fourth round, but the defense is gonna meet them halfway. Vivian's gonna find one kill there, and a trade's gonna come out. Nynx is gonna grab Aqua Fighter with a confirmed kill, but stay downed himself, and now it's a 4v3 with one resible for Cold Steel. Oh, and the team kill from Fino in the smoke is gonna even that up and make it a 3-3.
And with Shrieking Geek on the flank as well, potentially going for the revival from Nynx, or maybe take down Vivian, but Vivian knew he was coming around somehow.
A very nice snapshot by Vivian there. I don't think she knew. I think that was just the snapshot coming alive there. And Grim Reaper's gonna find her on the corner of the door. And it's a 2v2, Pink versus Grim. He's gonna find Pink as well, but take a shot himself. Fino looking to grab that final kill. He does indeed, and Cold Steel go down. Killettos grab themselves one round of this third map, and they are in this series still. See, that's what happens when you have the faith.
That's it. This is the comeback, Noman.
This is it.
This is it.
This is it. They've got a defensive round to hold, and then all they got to do is cap, and it's all over for Cold Steel on this third map. Now, I'm curious if that's gonna sort of slow up Cold Steel. You know, are they gonna?
I think that's gonna stay fearless. They've already won.
I mean, I guess, but at the same time, you kind of want that MMR juice, especially when you're in this tier. So we're in the bronze tier of VRML. I mean, it's cutthroat down here. You know, I don't know.
Climbing over each other.
I think
This is bronze. This is heavy bronze as well.
yeah, they
That
could
shows it's last in league.
they could still be feeling pressure to try to win the map, you know. So I don't know. It's mind games as much as anything else.
Yeah. You gotta just psych out the enemy. It's like actual war. You just gotta make the enemy give up before you do. That's how it works. Works in every game, from Overwatch to Onward.
Yeah, that is true.
Still not having that reconnection from Cold Steel quite yet, so maybe waiting a little bit, but Izzy or Bar, he's running 7 kills right now. Didn't even realize he killed that many people. When did that happen?
Well, he killed 4 in that one
that final
round. I mean, that was the bulk of it. I think he just picked up 1 there. So it does
That'll
make
check
sense.
out then.
Yeah,
Math checks out.
math is all there. I mean, it's been a good series so far. I think this, it's very interesting. I'm really glad we've started casting a lot of these lower division teams because, like, specifically in this case, we're watching two teams who are having their first season in the league, and you can sort of see, you can chart their growth as teams as they've been coming up, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, the Killettos struggled a lot in their first couple of matches, mostly because, you know, they were very fresh. A lot of them fresh to the game, not just the league. But now we're starting to see them sort of come alive. Cold Steel, definitely a more veteran team, relatively speaking, to the Killettos, but they are, you know, they're losing rounds to them. They're struggling to close out a series, and really the Killettos, you know, with the information they'll get from watching this tape, next time they'll perform even better. So it's really interesting to see this sort of progression live, right? Normally you'd only see it by numbers because these teams wouldn't get too much screen time, but I'm really glad that we're starting to pick up.
Eyes now, and it's beautiful.
It is. It's
The essence of the Onward VRML.
it's like that rose that doesn't exist on Suburbia. It's beautiful yet ephemeral, you know?
Ephemeral, ethereal.
Yeah. Is it ethereal?
It's ethereal, I think.
Do I want ethereal or ephemeral? Chat.
Is ephemeral even a word? I don't think so.
Okay, well, clearly you've lost all of your credibility there, Buxton, because yes, ephemeral is definitely a word. And I'm pretty sure it's the word I wanted to use, too. And Vivian's going to find one. Nink's going to grab the refrag quickly, but he is already on the inside of this defense. They've got to be careful. They've lost one on the other side. The offense is pushing through. Shrieking Geek going to find himself Aquafighter on the backside, and you were right. They are not slowing this offense up for anything. Rushing through, Nink's gonna contest Sky in the dark corridor. She's gonna win that trade, but Grim Reaper's gonna find Phenaram on the backside, and now it's just one member of the Killettos, 3 members of the offense, and the trade comes out, but Grim Reaper able to clean that round up for his team, and Cold Steel's gonna grab themselves the map and the series 4-1 and 3-0.
Indeed.
Oh, what a series it has been, Buxton.
It's been a wild ride.
It has been an absolute...
I feel exhausted from it.
It's been truly a battle for the ages, I would say. And what a great lead up into the SMC Globochem game we're going to be seeing in just a couple hours here on Master League 1 as well.
Indeed.
So, you know,
An hour and 45.
just warming everybody up for that hot action. But yeah, the series has gone the way of Cold Steel. They grabbed themselves the series with a score of 12-4. What did you think about that, Buxton? What's your feelings overall?
They're torn. I like the play on both of these teams now. I don't know. One side is happy, one side is sad. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I can definitely mirror that. I mean, there's just so many opportunities for Killettos there to grab, you know, that missed cap there. I'm sure when they rewatch the series is going to be utterly devastating for them, because
utterly devastating.
It would have been a big. I mean, they would have ended this series 3-4 instead of 1-4 on Cargo. But yeah, I mean, it was a good series nonetheless, and I'm glad we were able to pick this game up. But for right now, I think that is going to do it from the desk. Really quickly want to thank everybody for tuning in, dropping those bits, dropping those subs, start using those emotes. I saw a little bit of them in the chat, but thank you for that. Grab clips, submit them to myself or anybody else on the casting team so we can use them for all kinds of fancy things in promoting the league. Check out the Discord. Exactly. Check out the Discord and the VRML website if you're interested in joining a team or hopping in as a reservist. All kinds of opportunities in there. But yeah, I think that's going to be me signing off, and my co-caster Buxton as well. Bux, any final words for the ladies and gentlemen at home?
Final words. Go watch that Globochem match in an hour and 45 minutes. It'll be good.
Perfect. All right, guys, we will see you in just about an hour and a half. But for now, Noman and Buxton signing off.
Goodbye.